Let us not forget one other Dan Quayle attribute that goes straight to the heart of what the Republican Party stands for and has stood for since William Howard Taft. He is a damn good golfer. Mr. Vice President, wherever you may be here in the room, you may not remember this, you probably won't remember this, but we met briefly years ago at the Nixon Library, and we discussed my golf game, and you gave me an excellent golf tip. You said, PJ, give up golf. Ladies and gentlemen, Vice President Dan Quayle. I do remember that. I think I did say keep your daytime job. But anyway, it's great to be back in New Hampshire. Haven't been here for a while. I came up from New York on the Continental Express, whatever that regional jet is. So it's very comfortable, but you have to check your luggage, and then they give it to you when you get off. You've all flown that flight before. Well, I check the luggage and I get off the plane. I'm standing there waiting for my luggage to come up to the, so we can pick it all up. And the pilots come out and say, oh, hey, so glad to see you back and all that. Can we have your picture? I said, no problem. So I start taking pictures, shaking hands. The flight attendant comes out. They want the picture taken. You know, people are picking their luggage up and leaving, and my luggage is standing right there, and someone else comes up with a picture taken. I said, okay, fine. Welcome back to New Hampshire. Thank you very much. Finally, this one lady, she picks up her luggage, she looks at me and says, are you running again? Welcome to New Hampshire. It is great to be here. We're here to honor my dear close friend, John Sununu, or as Nancy calls him, Johnny. But actually, you know, if you really think about it, Steve Merrill indicated that in his remarks as a person we probably ought to really honor tonight, as a person who keeps the governor focused, who keeps him on time, who has been the custodian for all these years of his coin collection and his stamp collection, and oh my gosh, the baseball card collection. I mean, there were years that, you know, the house cleaning, somebody was coming to the house and we had to put the baseball cards, right, Nancy? You had to put the baseball cards in some sort of a vault in case somebody might want those crazy things. But no, and Nancy, she always reminds us that Johnny, as she affectionately calls him, is really warm and fuzzy. Nice try, Nancy. But I asked Nancy one time, I said, so what is it? You've got this wonderful family. You've been married to your husband for all these years. What is it that you really attribute to that successful marriage that you had? She didn't think too long. She said, well, I think it's because John travels a lot. I got to know John Sununu back in the early 80s, and obviously during the 1988 presidential campaign. You know, we ran on that theme of a kinder, gentler nation. So it was very appropriate that we appoint a kinder, gentler chief of staff in John Sununu. A lot of people ask me, they say, tell me some funny things that went on in the White House. Tell me some things in the White House that went on that I might not know. Well, I'll tell you, there's not a lot of funny things that happen in the White House. It's a place where you actually work, and it's not really that funny, but there are some revealing things that I'll share a couple stories with you tonight of what happens behind closed doors. The Chief of Staff of the United States of America, or the Chief of Staff to the President of the United States of America, John Sununu, he used to carry around this big math book. A big math book, yes. And during boring staff meetings, the Chief of Staff would every once in a while slip a math problem to one of his staff members to answer that moment. Now I understand, told that John relaxes in the evening by doing math problems. I bet Hillary wished Bill had that book. Senior staff meetings, I wasn't there, but I got reports, and I had to get a report from our staff people who were there. The late Dick Darman, who was a good friend of the governor's, a good friend of mine, but there was always this little contest going on about who was the smartest person in the room. Just imagine how that senior staff meeting went, and they'd come back to the office and I'd say, who won today? It was usually John Sununu that won, but every once in a while Darman, according to the senior staff, would win. But John, as you know, he's always, he likes to get the last word. He'd come into my office periodically and he'd say, those people in Congress, they're a bunch of idiots. I go, John, they're not all idiots. They're a bunch of idiots. And I said, John, I said, some of those people up there might be our idiots. He says, but they're idiots. And I said, okay, can idiots have representation in Congress? And he looked at me and says, well, there's too many of them. But John is he likes sports. He's actually a very good skier. You saw that picture of him out there skiing? He's actually very sneaky fast in skiing. He goes out raced against him a couple of times. I hate to say it, that he's defeated me. But he's very proud of his skiing. He's got Waterville ski resort, and he's fast. But I hate to tell you, Governor, it's not a pretty picture watching you from behind going down the hill. Well, my friends, I'm here because of John Sununu. He is a person that is obviously a patriot. You've heard testimony tonight. He's somebody who puts his country first. He's somebody that, when he worked with me and President Bush's chief of staff, we get into heated discussions, and he was always the one that said, let's put politics aside and do what's right for the country. Can't think of a person that's more loyal, more dedicated, believes in the philosophy of the Bartlett Center here. Somebody who has made a difference here in New Hampshire. He's made a difference for the country too when he was chief of staff. And his legacy will be many things, but his legacy as governor, chief of staff, but his most important legacy, I think, will be his family. Because his love for his family, his wife, his 8 children and grandchildren, to me, that is a remarkable person, and there's no greater legacy that you can get. And I'm just darn proud to be here and call you a dear friend. Thank you.